And we should be live. I hope somebody's here for me to talk to, so I'm not just talking to a lens. I kind of had in mind what is important. What is most important to you? I was just kind of wondering what y'all thought was most important. If anybody's out there, howdy, howdy. We're just going to do this live tonight because if we did not get it done last night, you caught me in the middle of opening a Dr. Pepper. I didn't realize what time it was. I was putting the microphone. I got a new monitor and was trying to get things arranged and everything, and then the microphone just went tumbling off the desk. I don't know. Not a very good mic stand, I don't believe. But hey, I got it open without making a mess. How y'all doing? Ain't that good? There's shows to be 3 people watching, so that's good. So, what's most important to you in life? Is it your job, your career, school, making money? What is it? I like that one. How you doing, Mad Dash? Family adventures. The key thing I think is family. The rest of it is bonuses. How you doing, Banze? Banze? I think you told me how to pronounce that once, and I forgot. I've slept since then. Does the mic sound okay? Because I've got it sitting like right in front of my face, and I hope it's not too loud, but I hope it's loud enough. It sounded good on the headphones anyway, but I don't like wearing those things because them big old earmuffs that get your ears hot, and I don't know. They're all right if you have to wear them, but that's good. Okay, that's great. I got me a 27-inch monitor, testing it out, and got to write a review on it. It was doing real good, and all of a sudden, a few minutes ago, it like kind of got a yellow tint. I don't know. My laptop monitor shows like if you put a white screen on there, it's white. This one, it was white, and all of a sudden, when I got back, I went and did a. I was going to work Spark today, and I did work Spark for a little bit, but I only got one .com order, but it was a good one. And then when I come back home, I turned DoorDash on for a minute while I ran up to the dollar store and did a quick DoorDash because it showed to be busy. Normally I can never get on there, but it was right at dinner time. So I thought, what the heck? Got a 5.75 McDonald's order. How you doing, T. Ron? Oh, you got on Spark. Good deal. I hope it's working out for you. And I hate to tell you this, but 5 months ago, at least here, well, 2 months ago, it was so much better here. It's they're doing those lowball offers like DoorDash does, but that's not what we're talking about tonight. Mad Dash is family adventures, and that's absolutely right. And that is kind of I really didn't have nothing much to talk about last night, but as it turned out, I got a message from my mom and my grandson's. She got a message from one of the ladies' her son's on the football team where my grandson goes to school and plays football, and it was his last game, and that made me think about it because I thought, no, I'm canceling this live for tonight, which was last night, because family should come first, and sometimes we put. Yeah, dashing again. Once I did a McDonald order, but sometimes we put other things in front of our family, and I admit I probably did more of that than what I should have when my kids were younger. I don't know. Maybe it's a normal thing to look back and think you wished you'd have done things a little bit differently. Excuse me while I get a drink. Oh, nothing like a good Dr. Pepper. I was trying to cut back on those, and I did do good for a little while, but not so good lately. But anyway, how you doing? Oh, gigs in Seattle. Howdy, howdy. But yeah, sometimes you know, working and everything is important so you can be able to do things and be able to spend time with your family. But don't a job or these gig apps and all that should not take priority over family. Everybody's got to work or have some source of income. But let me tell you, especially to you younger folks that still have kids at home, and you probably have a little bit of an idea, but they're going to grow up fast. And then before you know it, you're going to be a grandparent. And then nobody's got time for you. And you can't say much because if you didn't take time for them when they were little, what can you gripe about? You did it, and now they're doing it. And it's a vicious cycle that goes on and on. My son is doing really good, I think, from what I've seen, is spending time with his son, my grandson. And maybe he's realized, because I tried later in life after I started getting older and realized it, that we really should spend time with our kids and our family. But one of my big regrets is, and I've told my son this, he used to play the Xbox, and he'd say, "Dad, come sit down and watch me and play." And I'd sit down occasionally for a minute. I regret not sitting down more. And it goes way on back from there because I used to go out to my grandparents a lot, and I spent more time doing what I wanted to do rather than listening to what my grandpa and grandma was trying to teach me. And little did I know, they really wasn't trying to sit me down to teach me. They was just trying to instill a few values on me or in me. And I wished I would have paid more attention. We probably all are like that for so much, a little bit. But the main thing is, if you can spend 8 to 10 hours a day working, then it doesn't hurt to spend an hour or two with your family or longer. Really should be longer. But I mean, if you've got one child, spend 30 minutes to an hour doing what they like to do. We all know we can't do that every day, but try to spend more time with your family. And I should have, and I still have, I'm lucky, I still have a little bit of time left to do so. And I'm trying to get better at that. So to me, the most important thing is my family. Then it's my job or making money. And my job entails a lot of different things. God, actually, in whole reality, I spend more time working now than what I did when I had a W 2 job because I've kind of got, was that, I got too many irons in the fire. I think that's the old right saying, but bonsai, 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 like the tree, Japanese tree, bonsai. Okay, got it. I remembered you told me how to spell that, but or not spell it, but to pronounce that, and I just had forgot. There you go. Probably nobody in here old enough to remember. There was a old show on. It was called McCloud. And it was if you get bored, look it up. But Dennis Weaver, his catchphrase was, "There you go." It was funny. It kind of sounds corny now, but it was funny. But it's a good old show like that. I learned hard that lesson. I learned the hard. I learned the hard that lesson 10 years ago. I chased a career all over the country in Puerto Rico. Yeah, it it's reality. We all get caught up in things and trying to make money. But, you know, if you've got $1 million and you're by yourself, what good is it? I had a time in my life where I didn't have $1 million, but I had enough money to do what I wanted to do. But I didn't have nobody to share it with. Well, then I got somebody to share it with, and it went poof right out the window. But we won't go there. Anyway, yeah, you can spend a lifetime chasing your tail, but unless you got family, then none of it's worth it. So take some time with your family. That was my main thing I want to talk about. And I know most of y'all know that, but for real, don't just let it go in this ear and right out that ear, or think that old man just rattling and he don't know what he's talking about. Or yeah, we know. You know smoking's bad for you, and a bunch of you smoke. Up until I got cancer, dipping was bad for you, but I dipped, and I knew it was bad for me, and I dipped. Once I got cancer, and that changed that changed a lot. But we know these things, but you got to do it. You know, you can know everything there is to know, but unless you utilize that and use it to your advantage and understand it, then it's not all the knowledge in the world ain't worth nothing. It's like having all the money in the world wouldn't do you one bit of good because nobody else would have any, so everything would lose value. If you don't have the time to spend with your family, then your family value time is useless. I don't know if that made sense. Anyway, spend time with your family. That's what I'm getting at. Anyway, here we go. What are we talking about? Don't forget our sides. Yeah, ours. But family is important because you'll wake up and say, where did everybody go? You are absolutely right. You know, it, yeah, our side. I got what you meant. Telly Savalas, wasn't it Telly Savalas? I think that's who it was. Howdy, Miss Stacy. Happy anniversary. I saw that on Facebook. Stacy and her husband is celebrating what was it, the 30th? Was it 30th anniversary, I think you said? Oh, Raymond Burr. My grandmother had said past life, it was 5 minutes. Yeah, when I was a teenager, I couldn't wait to turn 17. Then all of a sudden yeah, happy anniversary, 30th. That's great. Let's see. You know what's bad? I can remember my anniversary, but I can't remember the year. But if my kid's mom would have lived, I think it would be probably about 35 years, 34 years. So that's a long time. But happy anniversary. But yeah, when I was a kid, I couldn't wait to turn 17, 18. When I did that, then at that time, 19 was drinking age, which I never really, I mean, a beer here and there, but I never really got into it. But we would go to the clubs a lot. And then I couldn't wait to turn 21 because then they changed the law. And then all of a sudden, I was 25. And then bang, I was 30. And my parents kept telling me, enjoy it because it's going to get faster and faster. And then I was turning 30, and the next day it was 40. And 50 just whizzed by. I didn't even see it. It was like a shooting star, not a falling star, a shooting star. And now here I am, 57, fixing to be 58 here in a few months. 60 is right around the corner, and I bet it'll be here next week. But for real, time flies. So try to slow down. I know that's hard to do, but try to slow down and slow down and smell the roses, as they say. But go to the park with the kids, and Mad Dash. I know he does some camping and stuff like that, and fishing. I think I remember seeing some pictures or hearing talk about it, and that's important. Just get out, take the kids to the park. Don't forget to take some time for just yourself, but 30 minutes a day for yourself is works wonders. Then, then maybe you can handle more time with your family because you got the mentality and you got your thoughts and your stress down. You got your thoughts together and your stress level down. So balance that time. Like Bonsai said, balance. You're balancing your time. And that's what we need to do. So many of us get caught up in trying to make the dollar. That dollar ain't worth nothing at the end. All it'll do is buy you a casket. Hopefully. Anyway. 89 cents a gallon and $2 a pack of Cowboy Killers as far back as I go. 89 cents a gallon and gas, I'm sure, and $2 for a pack of cigarettes. Yeah, I think I never smoked. I tried smoking. It gave me a headache. I never picked it up. But unfortunately, I picked up Copenhagen snuff. And that looked like it was flashing. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying moving it and it's trying to focus on me. Anyhow, yeah. On my end, it looks like it's flickering in the background, but I can't tell. Anyway, yeah, snuff, cigarettes, and all that was a lot cheaper back then. That is for sure. And gas was cheaper too. Everything was cheaper. Don't you wish you would have bought about 20 or 25 of those $500 Impalas that sit around on car lots and nobody wanted them? Can you imagine how much money you'd have now if you had them old 74, 76 Impalas and the Continental, the Lincolns? Those things are ridiculous. Glad I quit the tobacco. Yeah, no joke. It's a hard habit to break. Red man chewing tobacco and beech nut. Yep. Me and a buddy of mine growing up, not only snuff, we had chewing tobacco too, but he chewed Levi Garrett, and we would buy. Well, probably our parents did, but parents didn't think much about it. But we would buy a box of. He'd get me Red Man, and I get him that. I think it was Levi Garrett. I think that's what it was, and that's what we'd give each other for Christmas. Well, that's crazy to think about doing that now. Spent some times in the woods this weekend. When the weekend before last, fall colors, peace and quiet. We went to Colorado and got some pictures up there around Gunnison, Monarch Pass, and, the Royal Gorge. If y'all like watching videos like that, jump over to Dirty Shoes Adventures. I think there's 4 videos out now, but it's our little Colorado trip. We decided next time we go to Colorado, we're going to stay over on the eastern side because there's more to do in central and eastern parts of Colorado. I don't know. Where we was at, you had to drive about an hour and a half to 2 hours to really do much. Other than, just hiking and stuff like that was great. But as far as like going to the Royal Gorge and all that, that's more over towards Colorado Springs and over in that way. But yeah, I kind of want to get over in your neck of the woods or not, probably not this year, probably be next year. But I love it over there too. Yeah. I know even East Texas and then Arkansas, of course, and I'm not real big into swampland, but unless you want to take those alligator uh, tours and stuff down there in Baton Rouge on down to Shreveport, I mean New Orleans. But I kind of like the Quashada National Forest. I believe that starts over. Really, I think it starts in eastern Oklahoma and goes all the way over towards Tennessee. But that is some beautiful area that we want to check out. So, what do y'all? What I should have put a poll up is I was thinking about changing uh, the lives from Wednesday night to Thursday night. I don't know, especially right now, and making it an hour earlier because it's getting darker earlier. And be honest with you, I really don't like delivering after dark because if I do Walmart Spark a lot, and you get those .coms, and a lot of places that we deliver to is out in the country, and I really don't like walking up in people's property up on their front porch at dark 30. I mean, the dogs is something to watch out for, but if they're not expecting those orders, and a lot of times they don't know they're coming. So walking up on a porch out in the country at dark 30 is not a good idea. Hey, how you doing right here, Lisa? We've been talking about what was important to us. What is the most important thing to you? And I think most of us agree it should be family, but a lot of us get caught up in other things. But anyway, I don't like delivering after dark. So I'm thinking because I think time changes this month. I don't remember what day it is, but I know time changes soon. So it's going to be getting dark even earlier. So doing 7 o'clock lives, I think is probably better than 8. Because when I get, especially y'all probably been around, I get a little long winded, and I usually try to keep them to an hour. But sometimes it'd be 9:30 before I'd shut up, and then if I've ate already, it ain't so bad. But then I got to eat dinner, and then usually got other things to do. And if I do them at 7, and I do happen to run a little late, not that big a deal. November 6th. Oh, okay. I knew it was coming up, so we got 3 days. Wow. Okay, this weekend. I really wish they'd leave it alone. I understand why they did come up with that. What back in the 1900s, 1920s, 30s, somewhere back in there. I understand that, but there's not as many farmers out there now as what there used to be. So I really don't see a big benefit of it anymore. But I don't know which way I would like it better, the way it is now or the way it's going to be next week. I'm human. If it goes this way, I wish it was this way. If it was this way, I wish it was back that way. So I'm blind in the left eye, and at dark with the flashlight, uneven terrain, I struggle. Well, I'm blind in the right eye, so if we put your left, if we put our eyes together, we'll probably be able to see good. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the daylight savings at all. But what I have trouble with at night, besides going up to people's houses and stuff in the dark, is finding numbers. And I've got me a pretty decent flashlight, and it shines a pretty good beam, just a narrow beam. And I know if you start up and come down, onto the top of the roof and stuff, you can sometimes find house numbers. But of course, if you start from down up, you're going to shine it in their windows, and that's not a good thing either. And it's like Bonsai said, you get holes in yards, water hoses, bicycles, tricycles, skateboards. People sometimes leave stuff out in their yard, and you don't quite see it. I do have a real good flashlight though for it's actually more of a floodlight. It's on my Amazon store if y'all want to check it out, but it's got a magnet on it and it can pivot it. It's more like a floodlight, not really a beamed flashlight. And I can light people's front yards up, and I have done it because if they're not going to leave their porch light on for me, if they order, and I mainly got it when I was doing DoorDash and Uber Eats and stuff, they know it. Food's coming. They know it's coming, and they can't turn their porch light on. Heck with them. I'd light up the front of their house. Bad manners, not good customer service. I don't know, but it beats falling in the hole. Yeah. Where I went last night, it was country dark. Well, that's the majority. Well, I wouldn't say the majority, but a lot of deliveries, and Stacy's in my area too. If she's still on here, she can confirm it. But a lot of the areas that we deliver to are right on the outskirts of town, and some of them are a little further out, and it's dark. And nothing out there but snakes and coyotes and people that shouldn't be out there. We really don't have a problem with that. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. I just don't like doing it after dark. It used to not bother me too much, but it's harder to see now. Driving, I don't have a problem. Walking across a dark yard, I do, and walking up on people's front porches, I don't like doing. But yeah, you can light up a front yard, that's for sure. T-Ron, yes, finding addresses is very hard at night. I don't know why they don't cut the lights on for us. Yeah, that's true. And what gets me, forced to say, oh, that's all right. Yeah, when they know they got stuff coming, there's no excuse not to turn their porch light on because they should look out there and they should know it's dark. I know if you're watching a movie and you start that movie at 6 o'clock in the evening, or say 7 o'clock in the evening, and you're not paying no attention, but if you know something's coming, you should at least look out there to see if it's dark. And I went to a couple of houses that actually had motion lights set up everywhere. Man, it lit it up like a runway. It was pretty cool. But yeah, people need to think about that. And it doesn't bother me one bit to light somebody's front of their house up with a bright light if they don't have the courteousness to turn the light on for us. But when you're doing Walmart Spark and you got them .com orders, a lot of those people don't know you're coming. So I've had a few times they've met me I'll be fixing to take pictures up on the door and they say, "Can I help you? I got your Walmart package." And it kind of catches them off guard. And they're, oh, okay. And I've had a couple that had no idea. Had one that said they didn't order nothing and told me to take it back. So anyway, it happens. But if y'all are out there at dark, be careful. It's getting cooler now, so snakes is not a big issue. It's dogs and trigger happy rednecks. And I can say that because I'm a redneck. Sort of, kind of. Delivered to the house a 300 square foot Land Rover. Poor guy couldn't afford no. That's fact. That is fact. I have seriously considered going to Walmart and buying those little sticker numbers and put them on some of these front porches where I deliver to. I mean, they're $300,000 to $700,000 houses, and they can't afford some numbers. What are they, like 29 cents a piece or whatever now? I don't know. But if you can afford a house, you can afford some numbers. Nothing else, get some spray paint and some stencils and go out there and do the curb like everybody used to do. When I was a kid, the Boy Scouts and girls, I guess Girl Scouts, but the Boy Scouts would go around painting curbs for donations. And I don't know why they quit doing that. I would think, to me personally, I think every city ought to have a city ordinance where you have to have your house identified with your numbers for the simple fact of fires, ambulance calls, and things like that. They got to be able to find you. That's, you know, that would be bad if you needed an ambulance and the ambulance couldn't find your house real quick because they didn't know the address for sure. So they had to drive up a couple of houses, count numbers backwards, and get to your house. That could cost you your life, for real. But that's the point. You're so rich, you don't have to buy house numbers. Well, yeah, you don't have to have your stuff delivered to the right house either. And I'm guilty of that. I put it on the wrong porch one day. The guy sent me a message because I'd sent them a message, and he sent me a message that it went to where I was supposed to deliver it. It sent me a message, and that said that I had delivered it to his neighbor's house. But anyway, they don't have numbers. I should have looked closer and paid more attention and counted better, but sometimes you get in a hurry. It's like being so rich you can get a face tattoo because you don't ever have to worry about affecting your need to work at a job. Yeah. And I guess I grew up in a time where tattoos wasn't as openly accepted as what they are now. But, back when I was growing up, you know, mostly it was men that had tattoos on their arms and stuff. But at some jobs that I had, they were allowed to have tattoos, but they'd have to cover them up. And now you can go to a bank teller, and the bank teller may have a tattoo on the side of their neck. And I guess I'm a little old fashioned, and I got nothing against tattoos, but I really think you might ought to have them. If you're going to have them where you can cover them up if you need to. Or unless you're so rich, you ain't got to worry about it. But I tell you what I'm seeing more and more now is older folks, that's like my age, and some of the guys will have tattoos on their calves, and it kind of, I don't know, it kind of looks a little weird now because you see an older guy with a tattoo, but it probably looks weird when I pull up beside a teenager and I've got AC/DC cranking, because believe me, I crank my music. I have to because I can't hear real good because of cranking up loud music growing up. But anyway, yeah, it was military mostly, and then a lot of the guys started doing it, and dancers, female dancers, and biker chicks. That was the ones that had tattoos. And over the years, it's just kind of got to where everybody, or not everybody, but a lot of people are getting them. And like I said, I don't have anything against them, but if you kind of need to think about the future though, and what kind of job that you may have to get. But like I said, it's beginning to where it's not really making much difference, because I saw a bank teller with a tattoo on their neck, or his neck. It wasn't a her, it was a him. I think. Anyway. I wanted a tattoo, but I'm too much of a wuss. I figured it would hurt. And I wanted back when I was growing up, a lot of the guys was getting their ear pierced. And I wanted to get my ear pierced, but the honest reason why I didn't do it is because of my grandparents. They were uh, pretty well known, especially in the church community. And I just didn't want somebody seeing me with a tattoo, a earring, and then them say, "Well, isn't your grandparents so and so?" Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't want to make the name look bad, and I know it wasn't that big a deal, but that's just the way it was back then. How you doing, Mister Tony? Hope you are doing well tonight and out making some money. I'm sitting there thinking, I don't remember if you have one or two kids. But anyway, we earlier with Tony, we were talking about what's important and whether it's making money or your careers. What's the most important thing? 5. Huh. No wonder she's always so busy. And you want her to monitor your lives. Man, you need to hire somebody for that. Oh man, my hands were full with 2. Headed home, snow and no plows out. So not worth it. Ooh. You know, I learned something when I was up there. I was talking to a girl at one of the gift shops that we had stopped at. I think it was one there right at Monarch Pass. Um, gonna hire my kids. There you go. Spend time with them. Well, if you hired them, see, you'd be spending time with them, and that's what's important. That's what I was getting at, is spending time with your kids. But what I learned about in Colorado is there's guardrails like on Monarch Pass, and I'm sure some other big passes. And then you go down 50 yards and there's no guardrail and it's straight down. And I never really thought about it, but when I was talking to that girl at that gift shop, she said, because I'd mentioned the guardrails, and she said, "Well, you know why there's not guardrails at all the places?" I said, "Not really." And she says, "Because the snow plows have to have somewhere when they're going, they have to have somewhere to push the snow off. You can't just let it keep piling up against the guardrail, and you have to take it down to the opening and push it off." And I thought, that makes sense. I never thought about that. We have a snow plows that attach to the front of the dump trucks for the city, but very, very rarely do they ever get them hooked up or need them hooked up. Oh, we homeschool, so they're going to be business owners ASAP. Well, they may be renting Teslas out. Hey, Steve, how you doing? I was just telling Tony, I learned something about up there in Colorado why they don't have guardrails everywhere. You may have just heard me say it, but I never thought about having somewhere to push the snow off. The only thing that blows across our road is sand and tumbleweeds. You might get a little light dust and the snow, and it may last a day or two, but we don't have a whole lot. We've had a couple of times we did. Well, when I was younger, though, we used to have real snow. Not like y'all get, of course, but it don't snow so much anymore. So people that don't believe in global warming, I've lived long enough where I can tell you there is global warming. It's no joke, because we used to get good snow back when I was a kid, and now you might get a little snow once a year, maybe twice, and then it may not snow at all. Yeah, I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt today. And here it is, November 3rd. Anyway, yeah, and that I believe Steve spends a lot of time with his son, so he realizes what is most important. It's not the job, it's not the money, it's not the career, it's the family. And I keep pushing that because I failed at it, and well, I feel like I did. I probably didn't, but in a lot of ways, I feel like I might have. But spend time with your family. Yesterday was shorts and t-shirt here, so y'all are gonna send us some cold front down this way. 'Cause, usually when it gets cold, it's coming out of the Rockies, and if it don't, we have in Texas it's the uh, hi.
Hi.
It's the Caprock out around Amarillo or east of Amarillo. But usually the weather kind of changes right there, and it'll generally stay more up northern towards Oklahoma. But occasionally it'll come across that Caprock and just to keep it coming. Yeah, I kind of thought you did, but by the way, you spending lots of time with your son. That's great. Definitely. I bet his not getting to do much lifeguarding now, but since it's getting colder. I remember he was being a lifeguard. That's cool. But there's, I got to, I don't know if you watch those Dirty Shoes Adventures uh, channel or not, but I've got some videos on our Colorado trip up there now. My last one was a long one. It was like 35, maybe 40 minutes, but it was at the Royal Gorge. That's a pretty cool place. My mom watched that video and she said that it doesn't look anything like what it did back when they went 30 years ago. She said back then it was maybe one or two buildings, and she didn't remember the bridge being that long, but that hadn't changed. I'm sure it may have widened and got a little nicer. But how you doing, Music City Gig Hustlers? How are you? Got some big shots coming in here now. Did y'all see Pedro's live Sunday night? He had 604 or probably more than that at different times on the live, just watching the live. Man, that's amazing. Because I watched some of the big YouTubers like Nimmin, Nick Nimmin, and he's a big YouTuber, and some of those guys do those lives, and they don't have that many people. That's pretty impressive. I think right here, Lisa, you were supposed to be coming down to Oklahoma City, I think, or I thought maybe. Oh, you watching it? Yeah, it's pretty cool. He's got that 13 minutes of news now, and or no, that's Steve's, isn't it? Steve's got the 13 minutes of news, but Nick Neiman's got a news thing too, but it's YouTube related. Think Media is another, yeah. Sean Cannell, uh, Dan Courier. I can't pronounce his last name. Uh, he's got a good one too. Yeah, YouTube news. Yeah, I've been watching him for a while. I try to watch their live on Saturday mornings, but a lot of times I either oversleep or I'm busy and I forget about it. But you can learn a lot. That's for sure. If I could just get everything that they teach to actually work for me, I would have more subscribers and a bigger channel. But you can know everything, but unless it falls into place just right, it ain't going to happen. But that's okay. I don't care. Who am I kidding? I do care. I would like to have the big numbers too, but it's okay because I'd rather have 2 or 3 people that really watch and listen and participate on my channel than have 20 or 30 that just subscribe and never come to my channel. But anyway, what I'm saying is I got videos on Dirty Shoes Adventures of the Colorado trip. We went to where was it with the casinos? Cripple Creek. But I didn't get any video there, so that's going to be. I'm going to do a video on it, but it's going to be like a slideshow of a few pictures, and that'll be it. And I bet it won't last 3 minutes, but that's okay. That's part of the trip. Anyway, I got to keep rattling, don't I? Because I'm going to have dead air here. Does anybody send, or Steve, you may know, any suggestions on a good mic, an arm to hold your mic? Mine fell completely off the desk right before I went live. I don't know if I bumped the desk, but when I tighten, it's the kind that clamps down. And when I tightened it down, it started bending the metal up, and it just kind of flops around back and forth. So I'm going to have to figure out a different system here. Got to get ready for a live. So they say, all right, take care, Steve, and appreciate you dropping by. Oh, don't know what I'll have to jump over on your channel when I get through here. Yeah, that's where I got this one. It was off Amazon. I believe it was a newer brand, the NEEWER. But anyway, if anybody's got any recommendations on one that's a little, I can't afford a whole lot, but this thing, I don't. I'm just trying not to touch the desk or anything in hopes that it stays up and doesn't fall off the desk again. That or I need some super glue, something. And it swivels. And there's no way to tighten it up to where it doesn't swivel. Right here, ready. Tony got the same mic. Have Tony tell him about which mic we got. I like the mic I have is okay. 2. Emily, she's fixing to make corn dogs. Yeah, that's what's happening, and that's what it's about for supper. Sweetwater.com. Okay. We have a Sweetwater, Texas. Yeah, but I like the mic. Actually, the mic I got basically for free. I mean, it was free. Let's see, Focusrite. It's got a little control box down there that the mic plugs in and the headphones plugs in. But really, I wouldn't have probably bought it for what it cost. But I need something to hold the mic that's good. Oh, that's where they're based at. Really? That's cool. All right, I'll text you right on. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. And also, you got your Amazon affiliate program going. I'm Tony. I was just sitting there thinking about Amazon, and I remember you got that going now. That's good. You can also, I don't know if you've done it, and you probably, since you watch Nick Nimmin and all them others, you probably already know it. but you can sign up for the video influencers on Amazon as well. Make video like a quick short review on an item, upload the video, and it basically works just like the affiliate links for Amazon. So anyway, hit it out. Just wanted to support and say hello. Well, I really appreciate the support. It helps. Thanks for coming by. I'm fixing to get out of here myself and eat a corn dog and tater chips and a Dr. Pepper. And that's a Texas supper. It'd even be more Texas if it was chili dogs or no. I like it's hard to find. This is totally off topic, but I have tried different places. The mom and pop restaurants, the few that we have left, to get a good corn dog. You can't get a good corn dog anywhere anymore. Sonic is awful. It's like they use the El Cheapo brands, and there is a difference. How do you get a channel start on YouTube? Just hit record and upload videos. You've already got part of it because you have a YouTube account. All you got to do is go to your profile, create channel, and just, as Sean Kennel says from Think Media, just hit record. Don't worry about if anybody watches it. Don't worry about if you mess up, because you're going to learn and grow. The important thing is just get started and just talk or show things of interest or do reviews. But that's the main thing, is just do it. We have a lot of music stuff. I'm going to check them out for sure. T. Ron, I take my son on Amazon Flex. He's helped me find the packages when we get to the address and pay him. And you're paying that. Well, that's family time. That's quality time. I had said in the past that Amazon Flex was not in my area. I stand corrected, because if you look that up in my area, there is actually a few websites like Indeed.com, I believe. They were looking for drivers in 2020. So apparently they were here and they got drivers, and then they quit putting on drivers. And now it's as far as I can see, they're not here, but it's because they don't have any need for more drivers. And apparently they are here, though. I wish they would hire more drivers, because I love Spark, but
we get a lot of stuff from Amazon, and I've never had anybody other than UPS or the
regular United States Postal Service delivers most of our Amazon. So, I don't know, but if Spark doesn't do something, they're gonna be right down in the category with DoorDash, as far as I'm concerned, because Flex is a ripoff. I had heard that, and FedEx has a truck, one of the small bobtail trucks, that has a sign on it that says now hiring non-CDL drivers. And I asked a regular FedEx driver about that, and he said that technically it's like a company within the company, but you're going to get all the crap orders. You're going to get like a whole day's worth of deliveries, and they're going to pay you like $75. He said you're going to work your tail off and you're not going to make much. They are FedEx, but they're not the FedEx that pays $19 to $25 an hour or whatever. So if you're looking into that, you may want to study on that a little bit before you just dive off into it. But Spark is starting to do a lot of $7 to $12 orders. And if you're coming off of DoorDash, and I think that's why these orders are getting taken a lot, is because there's probably a lot of people that are getting on to Spark that were DoorDash, and they're looking at say that's $12 order, and it's only going 3 miles, so the dollars per mile is there. The thing of it is if you do that, whatever that order is how much you're going to make an hour minus gas and wear and tear, of course. So if it's a $12 order, you're going to make about what, 10.50 to $11 an hour. So those $12 orders, miles, dollars to mile looks good, but you're only going to get one an hour because they don't do round robins twice an hour. They only do them once an hour. And if you do an express order, 90% of the time you're going to be sitting at the side of the store waiting on your order to be ready. I won't say that I won't, but I do not plan to take any express orders anymore because almost every one of them are like that. You'll spend 30 or 40 minutes waiting on an express order. But, yeah, FedEx driver can buy routes like a franchise. Spark needs to open up so you can accept more orders than one. I got a survey. I was telling Emily about it. I filled it out yesterday, and I went ahead and wrote on there. Yeah, I don't really know that they pay much attention to those, but there's just 2 things that I put on there that I suggested. One is remove the ability for customers to remove the tip without calling support. If they call support and there's a legitimate reason to have the tip taken away, fine, because there are some reasons why. But a lot of people are tip baiting so they can get their orders delivered quicker. And that really, most of the time, because we got so many new drivers, they're taking the crap orders. But before, most of the time, they're still going to get their orders, but they might be delayed an hour or two. Or if it was like the 8 o'clock run at 8 o'clock in the evening, they may not get them that night. Because I have had a couple of loaders say these orders was from yesterday. But anyway, that was the tip. And the other tip, or the other thing that I put on there, was to do round robins or something like round robins as soon as you finish a regular round robin. You know, you get it at 20 after, you pick it up at 45 after. And as soon as you complete that, they ought to be able to send you another order and let you go pick it up immediately, at least where you can get 2 orders an hour. Now, they wouldn't have to, it wouldn't be really like round robins, but it would be similar. But because you can't make any money doing $7 deliveries. That takes an hour. You're not going to make any money doing that. You're going to make more money doing DoorDash. I hate to say that, but DoorDash would pay better than $7 Spark order because you can do 3, maybe 4 DoorDashes within that hour that one Spark order is going to take. So, like I said, unless Spark does something, it's heading down a bad road. Of course, they're supposed to hire in-home delivery, and that's going to be their full-time Walmart employees. How you doing, Dashing Trader? Glad you dropped in. But anyway, that was my thoughts that I shared with Spark with the what it was. It said, "Would you?" What was it?
Would you tell a friend or whatever?
Yeah, it was like, would you tell a friend or recommend Spark to a friend or something? And I put no, not anymore. I used to. Up until like a month, 2 months ago, I was all about Spark.
Yeah, you talked me into it.
Yeah, I talked Emily into doing it, and she does. She's learned that you can't go by that acceptance rating because you'll be taking them $7, $9 orders if you do. You have to reject them. That second or third one, sometimes fourth one is going to be worth the wait. And if you don't get one, then you may not have made the $7, but you're also available for that hour. So anyway, I appreciate it, Dash and Trader. But yeah, you've got to don't let the apps play you. You gotta work them. And a lot of people say multi-app. But if you've done Walmart Spark, you know that it's very hard to multi-app with Walmart Spark because you're tied up. And yeah, you could go get a DoorDash order while you're waiting after you accept an order, while you've got 20 to 30 minutes. But odds of you being able to get that DoorDash order and get it picked up and delivered is going to be next to impossible because most of the time your food ain't going to be ready anyway. $2 a mile for everybody. But you can't do that with Walmart Spark because that means, like I was saying a while ago, if you get a $12 order and it's going 3 miles, that's $4 a mile? $4 a mile. But it takes you an hour, and you're going to be tied up for an hour. So that means you make $12 an hour. So the dollars per mile on Spark does not work. You can't. That's not even in the picture on that because they limit you on how many orders you can get, unless you get a shopping order, or if you're lucky and you take an express order and it's ready. Most of the time it's not going to be, but most of the time that one order you take is what you're going to make per hour. How you doing, Team Money? What's up, Dashing Grandpa? How are you doing? What's the topic? Well, the topic was what is the most important thing to you? Whether is it money, a job, your car, and most of us agreed it should be your family, and that's a hard one to fit in sometimes. But without family, it don't matter how much money you got. Who cares? Because you ain't got nobody to enjoy it with. And but you got to have money to be able to enjoy your family time. You got to balance it, but you need to spend time with your family because that should be number one. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they did here too, Tony. It was a quarter after the hour. Now it's 20 after the hour. But with them doing that, that even cuts less time if you was going to try to do a DoorDash order. Because you generally check in at 40 after. You're not supposed to check in until 45, but it'll let you at 40 after. Occasionally, it's letting us clock or check in at 35 after, but most of the time it's going to be 40 after. So then now you only have 20 minutes. And I don't know if anybody else, I did a little short yesterday about 2 new screens on the Spark app after you deliver. Emily says she doesn't get those screens. So I don't know if it's just certain people getting them because it's not. She hadn't gotten them, and I have. And it asks you, the first screen asks you if it's an apartment or a house, something else, and then other. And then the next screen asks you if you needed a gate code or not. I don't know if they've only selected certain people to get those screens. It kind of ruined it because I like sending them a thank you note and have a nice day. But now I can't send them a note because as soon as I take the picture and hit complete or the check, click the smiley face or the whatever it is, it jumps to that screen where you used to be able to leave a comment. Now I can't leave a comment because it jumps to those two screens. But anyway, she don't have those screens. I don't know if anybody else does or not. I thought everybody got them probably, but apparently not. D-Money says, in my opinion, it's about family first, second to live life to the fullest with no regrets. Yeah, that's true. But I don't know of anybody that doesn't probably at least have a little bit of regrets of things they've done. I do. I regret not spending more time with my kids when they were younger. You know, I did spend time, but I think I should have spent more. But that maybe I'm just being hard on myself, but it is what it is. And I got one other regret, and I'll just say she's an ex. I don't regret my other couple of exes, but that one I do regret. Throw third, grow a beard if you're a dude. Yeah, I can't grow a beard, Tony. I can grow one right here and then right here, but right in here, it won't grow. I got a permanent grass killer right there. Radiation will ruin your ability to grow a full beard. So I've tried and it doesn't work. So, but I can grow this. But there for a while, this wouldn't grow, and it started growing. So maybe by the time I'm 90, maybe I can grow a full beard. But yeah, Roundup right over here. Radiation is Roundup for hair. Oh, this counts? All right. Well, it's gray too. I thought about trying to grow it long, but I don't know. No? Emily's shaking her head. No. It'd be a real goatee. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to get out of here and eat my corn dogs. I'm hungry. You know, fat old people like me got to eat too. Anyway, I appreciate y'all coming by, and I'm going to check out that microphone over on sweetwater.com and see what there is there. But for real, y'all just keep your family first. No matter what else, keep your family first, because without family, you got nothing. Lisa gave me the green light on a beard, and I ran with it. Yeah, you have. And it's getting longer, too. It's getting more bushy. Anyway. Hey, how you doing, Mark? Giggity? I was just fixing to get out here and eat a corn dog. Started the live about 7 o'clock. That's all right. Better late than never. But I don't want to eat on the live, so I'm gonna have to get out of here, folks. But I appreciate y'all coming by. And like I said, keep your family first. It's tough. It's hard to do sometimes because you got to make the money. But oh, don't go yet. Didn't go get yet. I'll take 2 corn dogs. Oh, you'll take 2 corn. That's what I got. It's 2 corn dogs. And I went by the store to get some mustard and the corn dogs earlier. They didn't have no mustard. All they had was it spicy mustard? Yep.
Spicy brown mustard.
Spicy brown mustard. Audio Technica. Okay, I will check that out. But she's standing there holding my plate, and she's going to throw it at me if I don't take it. Or Reba the dog is going to want it, and she's eyeballing it too. Uh-oh, she's holding it up there. That's not it. Reba's like, wait, that ain't even cool. Anyway, y'all, I got to get out of here. All right. Thanks for coming by. Keep your family first and keep smiling and keep dashing and dancing and doing whatever it is you want to do because you're going to grow old if you don't. And I will see y'all in the next video. Thanks again for coming by, y'all. Bye. End broadcast.